Hi, I'm Kritika, and today I'm going to walk you through the process we follow to set up any analytics project. The stage at which we get these kinds of projects are usually two. One is when the product is about to launch and there isn't a lot that you're tracking on the analytics front, but you would, of course, like to know what's happening once you go in the market and people start using it. So that's one. The other one is when you've been in the market for a bit and you have a few reports set up, some events that your development team set up for you. However, you cannot trust these reports anymore. Your team is unable to derive decisions from it. So here's the structured process that we follow to give you a really high quality output, which leads to you trusting your reports, knowing exactly what each chart is saying, what each graph means, aligning your KPI definitions across departments so that whenever you say an active user, the product team also knows what you mean, the growth team is aligned, and everybody in the company knows what an active user means. And so we ensure that everything is followed very thoroughly, meticulously, everything is documented. So at any point, whenever you're looking at report or anybody new comes to your team, they know exactly what you're talking about in your all hand meetings. All right. So with that, let's just jump in. These are the typical stages in a project timeline. So you can see we start with assessing your current state, tools you're using, what kind of events you're tracking, what reports you already have in place. So just putting together an audit report. And at the end of this stage, what you have will look something like this. We will audit it. We will tell you what are the findings, what needs to be fixed. So that's your step one, assessing the current state. Typically, after we've assessed the current state, we know that your events will need some intervention. So you have app events coming in from, say, your Android, your iOS, your website. Maybe all of these are just tracked in one place, whatever that is. What typically comes out is some events are getting tracked all right, some will need some update, so they'll need to be fixed, and then there will be a bunch of them which are missing. So at the end of this stage, what comes out is one, an event tracking document which has basically a list of all the events that we should be tracking. What do these events mean? When are they triggered? And what are the properties that they should have? So this kind of becomes your holy grail of entire event analytics. And so this sheet will be something that we then share with your developers who will track all of these events. And the second stage concludes here, where we've documented all of the events that you should have, and we do developer coordination to help them understand if there are questions about any events or the properties. Then comes the next step. So after the second step, the developers will go and do the tracking, and then we'll come back in and we'll do the event validation. This is the most essential step in everything that we do. What we do is we fill out this column where we go in and check every event to see, is it tracking what it is supposed to, and is it tracking when it is supposed to? Does it have all the properties that it was supposed to have? So after this step, you can be assured that wherever these events are getting plugged into, it could be your data warehouse, it could be your product analytics tool, it could be your ETL pipeline, whatever it is, you can be assured that these events can now be trusted. So the next step is for us to do the event validation and then coordinate with you to align on KPIs if they are currently scattered. This At the end of this stage, what you'll have is a detailed reporting structure based on the KPI definitions that we agree upon, right? So you will have like different sections here listing what is it that it is going to track, what are the key charts that are going to be in there. So this is again essential for us to work together to align on what becomes the output of this entire project, which will be the reports, right? After we've agreed upon the reporting structure and the charts and the KPIs, we will then finally create these reports for you. It typically comes out in three reports. One is the company health dashboard. It will be a report which will give you a very high level understanding of what's going on within the company, product growth, what's happening, where do we need focus. So it can be called like an executive report. The second will be about the product, about your active users, how are they activating, how are they converting, what is their retention, how soon do they onboard, what is their behaviors, everything around product and users will be here. And then your marketing report will basically try to assess your marketing efforts in terms of what channels are driving customers, which customers are getting converted the most. For each channel, customers that were acquired, how soon do they become paying, if they become paying at all, what channels give you most number of paying customers, what are different activities that are leading to highest ROI. So everything around marketing, you'll be able to look at here. So at the end of it, you will know how the company is doing, get a health check. You'll know how the users are performing and what are the levers that you can tweak to make them do or nudge them towards, say, onboarding or conversion or utilizing the product more. And then finally, you would also know what marketing efforts are working, if you have CRM in place, how that is performing, what kind of campaigns are working versus not. So that is what the structure looks like. And now I will quickly show you one of the projects that we've done. This is typically the pricing that it looks like. It of course depends on like how big the project is, but typically in an early stage, these are the stages and how it is priced. And then I would also like to show you um, the review that we've gotten on this project. And if I can just zoom into this, yeah, so we just do not come in as like somebody who puts tools together and gives you a report, but truly as somebody who becomes a part of this process and ensures that whatever you have at the end of it can be used for a considerably long time effectively, and your teams now look at all of your analytics setup in agreement with whatever we've built. Okay, that is it for today.